Every disaster I do, I see something I've never seen before, but I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this. The strongest act of nature has come through. Tsunamis are just so powerful. There's nothing quite to equate it to. You can see all of these foundations were all homes, and now they're all gone. You know, I just don't think that any animal could really have survived this part of the tsunami. If they were in this area, more than likely they would not make it. It's absolutely incredible devastation. As you can see from the direction here, the tsunami came up right through here, and you can see that it was high enough to actually lift the cars over, and the whole road is littered with cars. What the farmer is telling us is that the water came up to be about knee high. It came into this entire area and flooded this barn that you'll see here in just a sec. And unfortunately, it just came in so fast that they didn't have time to come in and get all the cattle, because as you can see, they're chained and tethered to these posts. And by this time, the water was right up to here, right up to the bottom of this area. And the cattle were very difficult to move, and they felt that it wasn't safe to allow people to come in and actually get the cattle out. So in here, he lost about 30 head. He was able to save about another 20 to 30 head that had been moved to a different farm. Right now, with so many human issues, there's nobody that's really starting to look at the livestock. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if you can see this fish down here. It kind of gives you an idea of what this must have been like during the tsunami coming in. So we're going to try to visit a few more of these farms today and to see if we can come up with a strategy, if this is something that we'll be able to help out with. This is just horrible. This is just horrible. We cannot allow these animals to suffer. This is the Fukushima Wildlife Rehabilitation Center. What you see behind me is one of the aviaries that was damaged from the earthquake. You can see that the mast was damaged and the net came down. This is a rehabilitation area that they use for the owl and the falcon. So this is just one of the structures that was damaged because of the earthquake. You know, I think the biggest thing that we're concerned about is that when you have a tsunami and an earthquake of this magnitude, there's going to be a loss of habitat. Even though we're not seeing a strong influx now of wildlife, what we have seen in the past is that as these weeks go on and as people start to get back into their area, they'll either find injured wildlife or they'll find wildlife that no longer are able to exist in their habitat. So I suspect that Toshio will start to see more animals being brought into the center. And we want to make sure that we have a plan in place so that if they do need to make modifications to their facility, if they need to expand, if they need more equipment or supplies to help treat the animals, that we're there to help them if they need it.
Over 2,000 people evacuated in here.
So we have 2,000 evacuees.
Yes.
And how many dogs and cats do you think have come into this area?
But maybe the 60 or 70.
Dogs and cats? Okay. The animals are not allowed in the shelter. So the rest of the dogs that came out of that evacuation area where people are seeking shelter are in the cars. So what we're doing in here is trying to identify a space big enough that we could build a temporary shelter. the majority of people that are in this shelter have come from the evacuation zone. They were not impacted by the tsunami, and they were not necessarily impacted by the earthquake. The concern that the government has is that if these reactors do melt down, or if there is a plume that is released, these folks would be in danger. Yagi lives in the 30-kilometer evacuation zone. And when he was asked to evacuate, the only animal that he could really bring was his dog. And so he's left behind cats. And as we asked him, was that common? He said, yes, there are many, many dogs and many, many cats in the evacuation zone. We need to work and see if there's a way we can maybe get some food into those animals. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.